Hi guys, welcome to another video on my YouTube channel. Just want to say thank you for the support on the collection video. It's kind of slightly apprehensive about releasing my first YouTube video, but the support's been really great, so thank you for that. Today's video is going to be a Avengers Doomsday wish list. Obviously it's a massive film that's coming out in December. We know Hot Toys for previous Avengers films have released, an ungodly amount of figures. And so I'm going to go through today and talk to you about some of the things that I'm hoping we get when Doomsday releases in December. So currently I have the Mark 85 Iron Man, the standard version, not the battle damaged version. I really like the figure, mainly die cast, the head sculpt's fantastic. But as I did mention in my collection video, the lack of rolling eyes is a bit of a drawback for me as a figure photographer. So I would like, off the back of Doomsday, a 2.0 or a re-release. I'm not sure if he's actually going to be appearing in the film as Iron Man, but obviously RDJ is playing Doctor Doom. I'm sure at some point he's probably going to have a scene as Iron Man, maybe a flashback or something. So yeah, I would like a 2.0 of that release. And then on a similar note, I actually don't have a Captain America figure at the minute, but if they were to release a similar figure to the Endgame one with that suit, but with rolling eyes, I think I would probably be tempted to pick one up. It's between that and the Age of Ultron suit for me as the two favourites. But yeah, if they released a version of that with rolling eyes, I think I would be all over it. And then I would like a Thor. So I know a lot of people like the Infinity War Thor and the Endgame Thor. I think to me the short-haired Thor is kind of the definitive MCU Thor based on the films that I love his appearances in most. Obviously Ragnarok, he had short hair, Infinity War, he had short hair. I did potentially look at buying the Love and Thunder Thor, which I know some people really don't like the costume and most people don't like the film. But to me the costume is good. I think it's maybe a little bit over-designed, but I like the helmet, I like the colours. I think if we can get a version of Thor with short hair, rolling eyes and all of the accessories he's picked up across solo films and the Avengers films, to me, I think I would definitely look to pick that up. And then the last figure that I wish they would release that's kind of an upgrade, maybe a 2.0, is a Doctor Strange. Again, for similar reasons. I think the head sculpt on the Multiverse of Madness one, which is one I have, is actually one of Hot Toys' best, but it doesn't have rolling eyes. And yeah, as I mentioned, it's just a bit of a limitation for me when I'm taking pictures of my figures. It can also make a head sculpt more versatile, and I think that's kind of why I'm such a fan of it. It's one of those things where before rolling eyes were a thing in figures, nobody really knew what they were missing out on, but now we've got them on some. I think it's kind of like you want them on all of them, really. I think another thing to add about the potential Doctor Strange release that may come off the back of Doomsday is I really hope we get the comic accurate yellow gloves that he wore in the, I think it's a post-credit scene for Thor Ragnarok. It's weird that they kind of like teased them and then never did them again, but yeah, I think that would be super cool. Equally, we may get like a Sheriff Strange as a lead into Secret Wars. Obviously, that's a big part of the newer version of the comic book. So yeah, you never really know what's going to happen, but I think either of those things I'd be pretty happy with. But yeah, they're the couple of figures that I would like updates or maybe 2.0s of. Obviously, there has been some teaser trailers released. There was one for Thor, one for the X-Men, and I believe one for the Fantastic Four and Wakanda. So yeah, I'll kind of start by going through them, and then my last couple might be slightly more outlandish. First of all, I would really like a Cyclops in his kind of comic accurate suit. Obviously I've got my Deadpool and Wolverine, and they're pretty much bang on to what their costumes are in the comics, but we've never really got a live action Cyclops in a comic accurate blue and yellow. I know in, I think it was X-Men Apocalypse, there was a version, but we never got a figure of that. So having James Marsden come back as Cyclops, and from what we can see, he appears to be in like the comic accurate blue and yellow, that would be a fantastic figure, and I probably would pick that up to kind of round off my X-Men collection. Failing that, an Ian McKellen Magneto would also be great. But I think my preference at the minute would be a Cyclops. Obviously it goes without saying the film is called Avengers Doomsday, so one of the figures that I think most collectors are going to be after is a Robert Downey Jr. Doctor Doom. I know they released the comic Doctor Doom probably a couple of months ago now that people seem to like, but it doesn't actually come with like a face sculpt, it's just the eyes under the mask. And I think given how kind of iconic this portrayal of this character is being teased to be, I think this to many people will be the ultimate Doctor Doom in 1/6 scale. If I like his portrayal of the character and I enjoy the film, I think I would probably look to pick up a Doctor Doom, given, you know, he's essentially the biggest bad guy in MCU history, really, probably tied or maybe just above Thanos. And then there's a couple of characters that may or may not be in Doomsday, they may or may not be in Secret Wars. I'll kind of loosely touch on some of those because we don't have any confirmation at the minute. But yeah, I think the main one for me is Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man. That's the Spider-Man I grew up watching. I know they've released one for No Way Home. Was it No Way Home? Far From Home? They all have the same name, the Spider-Man films. I know they released one for that film, and they have teased a battle damaged one on their Instagram, which has been controversial, as every Spider-Man seems to be. I would be tempted to pick up the battle damaged one, but I'm kind of holding out a little bit of hope that he is going to appear in either Endgame or Secret Wars, so we can get like that fresh suit, almost like a 2.0 of the No Way Home. It is No Way Home. Of the No Way Home Tobey Spider-Man. So yeah, that's on my wish list. It would be really cool if we got a Tom Holland black symbiote suit. Obviously in Secret Wars, the original 80s comic, that's where the symbiote suit first finds Spider-Man. So you never know. It might happen in Doomsday, it might happen in Secret Wars, you never know. Or it might not happen at all. But I think that would be something that I would look to get. I've got the red and blue Tom Holland suit, which I probably won't ever sell because that's just perfect, that suit. But if we could get like a similarly faithful, comic accurate version of the black suit for Tom Holland, then I think I'd be all over that. So thank you guys for watching. If there's anyone that I have missed that you are really excited about appearing in the film or hope we get a figure release of, do let me know in the comments, or follow me on Instagram and drop me a message. If you enjoyed the video, like, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.